Julia joins me now. Oh, do you feel a tiny sense of relief today? Because you've been harbouring this secret since you started on the show in December.
Yeah, I feel so much relief. It's so nice that it's finally out there and I can stop lying to everyone.
Because you really do have to keep it. It's a tight-lipped thing. You cannot tell anybody any of these things.
Absolutely nobody. Keep everyone guessing.
So the final little bits, well, say final, it's probably the beginning of this jigsaw. We got to see lots more as the viewer last night, and the first time that you and Clayton were on screen together. So it's got to be the beginning of a completely other storyline here, hasn't it?
Well, I mean, who knows? You know, their relationships, it's very fractured, and it could get a hell of a lot worse.
I thought that.
Yeah.
Well, you got spotted going to see Clayton by, of course, Pat Phelan, who we know there's trouble once he's involved.
Absolutely.
So I'm guessing it's going to kick off, basically.
Well, you don't want to be in Pat Phelan's pocket, do you really?
No, you don't at all. But why do you think she felt the need to confide in Gail? Because actually she probably could have carried on and would have had Gail under her thumb, actually.
I think she's not the kind of person that would be that manipulative, and I think it could just be a simple case of mother to mother. I think they have a lot more in common than either of them really realised before they got to know each other.
Yeah. You see, I'm also intrigued as well because I thought Shona and David were a little bit pally. And they've certainly got close in the past couple of weeks as well. So I'm intrigued actually how that relationship might develop off the back of this bombshell.
Yeah, I think the relationship it probably will develop. In which way we don't yet know. But can you imagine how complicated that would be?
Well, can you see? And the fact that there's a pact between you and Gail, you've both decided, right, we know each other's secrets. Yeah. We're going to keep stum, we're not going to tell anyone. That, of course, equals disaster and so planned.
Of course it does. Secrets don't keep secrets long.
So it's going to kick off at some stage, isn't it?
I imagine it probably will, yeah.
Yeah. What is it like for you being up on the cobbles, though, Shona? Having watched the Corrie for all these years and then to be part of the cast must be the most exciting thing for an actress.
It really, really is. I've watched it since I can remember. I had my 5th birthday at Granada Studios tours, and I remember the first time I walked on those cobbles when I was yay high, and I was really angry because I wasn't allowed to go in the Rovers. Oh, I was too young.
Even though really it's not what we think it is when you're on set. Yeah.
But yeah, it's incredible. It's such a family, and everyone's so kind and welcoming, and I'm just having the best time.
You had an interesting little incident, let's put it that way, on your first day, I believe, and it was Helen Worth, who plays Gail, looked after you in the end.
She did. So we were on set, and it was a huge deal working with such a huge legend of Coronation Street, and we were about to do a scene. And Helen just said, Julia, I'm so sorry I've got to stop you, but your flies are undone. Oh. And all the crew knew, and everyone was laughing their heads off, and nobody had told me.
It's the new girls that don't want to be sort of too abrupt, but exactly. You can rely on Helen to look after you, you see. It's a lovely kind of, and I've met Helen a few times over the years too, and it just must be great to have them put their arm around you and say, this is going to be great, this is going to be really good fun.
Yeah, well, I think everybody's been like that, because it's my first television job as well. I've not shied away from asking questions if I've needed to. And Helen and, well, everyone I've been working with has just been so generous with their knowledge and their support of that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, of course. Great. Well, you being back up in Manchester and everything else, what about this little kitten of yours? Because I believe the little kitten is the baby of the family at this stage.
He really is. He's very mischievous, and he's growing so quickly. Oh. Marcel, I love him so much. Yeah, he's much bigger than that now, actually. But yeah, he's scampering around and he's ruining my sofa.
Oh, of course. Well, you got to let them do it, don't you? Well, now, before we go, I have to ask, what about the whole Nathan story as well? Can you give us anything away on what's going to happen? Because I'm guessing that has to develop at some point.
Yeah, so Shona doesn't yet know that Nathan and Bethany, or Bethany's Nathan, is her ex-Nathan.
Yeah.
She had an inkling, but obviously, as Gail hadn't met him, she said he was
19 or something.
19, yeah. So she will be finding out that Bethany's Nathan is her Nathan, and the repercussions of that. probably will be quite huge.
So I have an inkling then that we're going to be seeing a lot more of Shona over the next few weeks and months.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Julia, what a pleasure it is to meet you. Thank you so much. I will be watching, of course, on Wednesday night. Thank you very much.